shocked me.
Immediately.
Shocked me.
So having that kind of support
and then when he saw me in love for the first time with my first boyfriend, he was like, you know, oh, he called my ex-boyfriend son-in-law and yeah, that kind of. I'm like, what is going on?
And that right there is not a normal relations between gay son and father. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, in my adult life now, I'm beginning to see, you know, a lot more fathers supporting their gay children. But for you to have that, you know, do you feel like knowing that your parents, your family stand behind you, that's a force that really pushes you to continue to be able to do DBQ mm-hmm. and other mm-hmm. types of activities?
It adds to you. It adds to. I think that Maya Angelou said something about knowing who you are. You only can know who you are from where you know where you come from. Mm-hmm. And seeing my father and my grandparents and my family and knowing the history of, you know, where I come from, it added a lot of value. So I think that I know, because I know who I am.
Yeah.
You know, and I think even if my father didn't support me, I had my gay fathers before. You know, I had gay fathers before I even had my father, because our relationship went up and down.
So they've been consistent. Your mentors, your gay fathers have been consistent in your life since you were in your late teens.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So they've played a significant role in supporting you with the building of your magazine and things of that nature. What would you say to, you know, there are a lot of young people, not just gay men, but a lot of young people, period, who they aspire to do similarly to what you're doing, putting their faces, their voices, their thoughts, and their opinions into the world. You know, how would you advise someone who just goes to school and goes to work every day, they're frustrated with life, they're irritated, they want to do something, you're doing it, what would you say to one who wants to be where you are?
Einstein said that, this is what Einstein said, the thinking that has brought you this far has created the problems that your same thinking can't solve. I think the only thing that makes me different, the reason the magazine is one of the most popular gay magazines in the country right now, not to brag, but
no,
is because I don't think how everyone else thinks. You will think, if you were in my office with my interns, my team, I have 33 people on my team right now. 33 people. You would think I'm crazy. You would think I'm crazy. You would think I'm crazy because the way I'm thinking. You don't have budgets for stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking outside the box. We're going to do this and we're going to fly here.
We're going to make things happen.
I'm going to pull a miracle out my ass.
It's your mentality.
Yes.
That if I say I can do it, if I say we're going to do it.
The thing is, you have to know who you are. I have the same power that holds the clouds in the sky. The same thing that God is. That same stuff is within me. So when you know who you are and the power that you have to create, then you can create from that space. If you don't know you have that power, then you're going to think that you only can work with the limits that you have. But I believe that I can make stuff show up.
Yeah.
And I have. Everything in my life is show. How the hell am I here in DC? You know, 24.
And, right.
How did this happen?
Living on your own, you have this business, you know, you have these connections, you have this network, but it's because at a very young age you decided that this is what I'm going to do.
Exactly.
Like to you, there's no even option.
Clarity is more than a concept; it's a way of life. Because when you're clear about what you want, you get what you want. If you don't get what you want, if you're not getting what you want in your life, because you're not clear about it. Because when you're clear, you line up with it and you attract the opportunities for those things to show up for you.
So being clear is the knowledge of knowing this is where I am right now. This is where I want to be.
Mm-hmm. This is what, and I'm gonna make. I don't know how it's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. How is what will show up. So the fact that I I continue my life and I go after it as if it's gonna happen. What happens then is opportunities show up where it happens for me.
The other night, when I called you and we were talking, you know, and I asked you what you were doing, the first thing you said is, I'm
getting clear.
I'm getting clear.
Yeah,
I'm getting clear. And I think that is so amazing because a lot of people don't understand, you know, people come home from work or their long day and they, you know, turn on the television and things or blast music. And for you, getting clear is just having those moments to reflect, to make decisions, to organize in your head. Is that and that's a part of your daily routine.
What I'm wanting to do for instance, this magazine, what people don't know this, but they will eventually. With this magazine, this has never been done before. There's never in the history of magazines been a magazine named after a gay person with that same person on every cover. Oprah has done it.
And you call this the
Oprah people? I didn't call it.
Okay.
People call it the Oprah magazine for gay people.
The Oprah magazine.
Martha Stewart did it. Rachel Ray has done it. Caesar the Dog Whisperer. These are all magazines named after people with them on the cover, but never gay has been a gay magazine, white or black. There's never been a gay version of this kind of magazine.
Did you decide consciously? Like, was this a conscious decision?
It evolved. No.
Okay.
Because Stanley Bennett Clay said name it DBQ. I was going to name it DB, or I was going to name it Bold Magazine.
Ah.
And he said, no, name it after yourself because no one can steal it from you.
That's true.
And I did that. I listened to Stanley.
This is your brand.
Yeah. And then Reggie Wells, who does Oprah's Magazine and Essen Magazine,
okay.
he's known for that. He said, honey, put yourself on the cover. Oh, no, honey. No, don't you get them covers with nobody. You put yourself on the cover, and I'm going to help you. And so...
Do you feel vain at all by doing that at times?
I'm not glamorous. If you know, I look glamorous now. If you look at, I look glamorous. I'm not glamorous.
So it's not something where you put yourself on there because you want the attention on you, but it's just a part of you are your own brand.
I'm making a statement that it's possible.
Ah.
Because people told me before, my friend Keith Booker was like, honey, don't you... Keith Booker said, don't you publish a magazine because it's not going to be successful. Because if magazines are dying,
right.
You on the same cover, they're going to get tired of you. And it's actually happened the opposite way. So I wanted to show what was possible, push the limit for what.
So it's not about your face; it's about you making a statement of.
No. When have you ever in the history of magazine seen a black gay boy on the black gay man on the cover of a magazine consistently? Yeah. No.
Right.
You barely see them. Period. On the magazine.
I find it interesting. I find it your confidence is refreshing. Your clarity is refreshing. You seem to have this very. You seem very open, you know, and for a lot of us,
which is the hardest thing in the world, to be open.
To be open because you expose yourself, and when you expose yourself, you get stabbed in the back, criticized, spit on,
and you still
ridiculed, right?
Because the moment you close up, what you've been trying to create for your life
shuts down.
It bounces off the wall. So you have to be open to all of that, plus all the good stuff. And so I've consciously maintained myself staying open because I know that if I close myself up, no matter what happens, betrayal, friends, like as you read in this magazine, this current issue that comes out, some stuff I experienced about celebrating myself and celebrating my life.
When does this current issue come out?
It comes out next Thursday.
The
20 what's next?
6?
No. Next Thursday is what?
You don't know the launch date of
the 19th.
Okay.
Yes.
And so in this magazine, you're talking about celebrating yourself, celebrating life.
Celebrating yourself, making your life a celebration. This is our year anniversary.
And you're getting ready to go on tour.
Tour, yes.
You're going
six cities, going to Indianapolis, Chicago, D.C., New York, Atlanta, and L.A. So
where can people who are not from these major cities or don't live in these major cities, how can they get your magazine?
Well, the magazine is distributed in 50 cities, so we're probably in your city. If not, we're in a city near you. If not, you can subscribe and get it mailed to your door.
How do they subscribe?
DBQ Magazine, dbqmag.com.
dbqmag.com.
Yeah.
Okay, and if they want to contact you directly,
like with my cell phone number?
No. If people want to
like Twitter me though.
What is your Twitter?
Bridgeforth.
Bridgeforth, which is your last name.
Bridge, Bridge, Forth.
And you're on Facebook the same?
David Bridgeforth.
David Bridgeforth on Facebook.
And DBQ Magazine. We have 5 Facebooks. So.
Jesus.
Yes.
Now, where are you going with this? Like, because you started off doing reviews of drag shows. You started off with a television spot. Now you have the magazine. Where are you going with the brand?
This is going to continue. I'm going to do this. I don't ever want to stop this.
Okay.
My intention and my calling, I believe, is television. Yeah. So I'm going to do TV.
So you want to put your voice out.
You want to put your television and a book or 2 or 3.
Yeah. Because you write.
I've already written a book, and we're working on getting that published. So hopefully next year we'll have that set. That's the goal.
Beautiful.
And then I want to, get into some. I like documentaries, like Michael Moore.
Do you film?
Mm-hmm.
So you film.
I played with it.
You write. You do photography.
I love photography.
He is a Renaissance man.
Oh gosh.
Who is single.
Yes.
You are single.
Something like that.
Dating.
Yeah.
One person in particular.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah,
so you're not. So you're single, but not.
I'm seeing someone.
Okay.
I'm single. That's what I call it.
Who is supportive of what you do completely, and has to be in order to deal with.
Has to be.
And he has to be a confident man.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to be it, but I'm seeing someone.
Okay.
But I think that one thing that really interests me about love. Again, I quote Maya Angelou like I wrote.
That's your godmother.
That's my mom. She said, "Only equals fall in love."
Oh.
Only equals fall in love, darling.
But what happens when it's not that balance?
The thing is, when she said that to me, she did this to me, but 2 years ago, and I still have not. And I try to ask for clarity, but you don't ask Maya Angelou for clarity. She look at you like you're dumb.
You have to interpret.
She says, you have to figure it out. And so I was thinking, does that mean have I ever been in love with my equal? So I'm still trying to figure out what that looks like for me, or not for me, but period. If we have to make the same amount of money, do we have to be equally famous? What part of equality am I
That'll be a
looking
part
for?
of your journey.
Yeah, so I'm discovering that, but I think that when you look at, of course, somebody says Beyonce and Jay, or if you look at Oprah and Stedman, I mean, when I talked to Stedman, he said
Jada and Will.
Jada and Will. Stedman was like, the reason that their relationship is gone so well is because he has his own. Both of them have their own.
Yeah.
I like that. So
and
dating,
you're establishing yours.
Oh yeah, I'm establishing mine, and then I have to also look for people to be in relationship with, friends as well as personal relationships
who are equally yoked,
and have their own, and then creating from their own space of me.
Because then you don't have to worry about being judged.
You'll never be. The thing is, the person that you're dating will never be in the shadows if they have his own spotlight. You have your own spotlight. If they are their own spotlight in their own world, whether it's painting houses.
That is their love. That's their passion.
And they get their light from that. Instead of being, doing nothing, no meaningful contribution to the world, then they'll be in your shadow, and then that doesn't really work.
Your legacy, you're only at 24, however, and as we close out, what would you ultimately want your legacy to be? If 5 years from now, 10 years from now, let's just say you departed the earth, how would you want to be remembered?
I don't know. You know why I say that? Because I remember, and this is again she says, honey, you don't know what your legacy is going to be, so stop trying to figure it out. So I don't really know.
You have to live every
I know
day.
what I want. I know that I really want, and that's one of the reasons why I'm building the community center here, because I said years ago that I wanted to build a Bridgeforth Center for gay people, just for gays. Black, white, doesn't matter, but to cultivate their genius in every major city in the country. Now, I don't know how.
So you want your legacy to be that you provided sort of a safe zone for other young brothers, young sisters, transgender.
That and also I stretch the possibilities and limits. I push them for gay people because there's very few people who are doing certain things.
And that's your platform.
To push those limits.
Push the limits.
And what's scary, and this is not really scary, but when you say 5 or 10 years, the reason I work so hard because I think that I'm going to die soon. I really do. Like Marilyn Monroe,
the greats do.
And I don't want to die.
But
I don't want to
you're
die.
one of the greats.
But I think that
already.
I do think that. I think that I might die in the next year or two, and I'm like, oh my God, what if I die at 25?
Oh.
What if I die?
You can't think that, but at the same time,
so I push myself.
It pushes you to do a lot now, which is why I have shared my platform with David. I think that if we have more brothers and more sisters doing the types of things this young man has done and that he's been doing for 10 years, that we could really create a community that is solid. And with that type of unity, you have strength for change. And that is what you're doing.
You boost.
And so I want to first congratulate you on everything you've done. Wish you many, many continued blessings. And I hope that we'll be sitting together again in the next year or two when both of us have, our brands have reached even higher platforms and you're doing all the things that you've said you're going to do. The same here.
Right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this is David Bridgeforth of DBQ Magazine. Once again, where can the people find you?
dbqmag.com or dbqmag on Twitter or dbridgeforth.
Or dbridgeforth on Twitter. Ladies and gentlemen, pick up the latest copy that hits newsstands in 50 major cities. On July the 19th.
Yes.
And be in contact with this brother because he has a lot of positive things to share. As you have seen, he's just a force to be reckoned with here in D.C., but originally from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Yeah.
I am Xem VanAdams. This is David Bridgeforth conquering the world. Say it. One word.
One word
at a time.
At a time.